Hello, 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 and welcome to Sharing Your Story with Deborah J. And I have author Peggy Thompson on here with us today. So I hope you all enjoy the show and let us know when you come in, where you're from, and how you are doing. So again, I would like to welcome you all to Miss Peggy Ann Thompson. Thank you so much for joining us, Peggy. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience and let us know who you are.
Thank you for having Miss Deborah. My name is Peggy. I am a mom to three amazing kids. I'm a bus driver, and I am a first-time author of Dying on Section 8. I am originally from Chalkawinity, North Carolina, and that's near Greenville, NC.
Okay. I was wondering how you pronounce that when I saw that. I said, how do you say that? Chakawinity?
Yes,
Okay. Now, is that like an Indian town, Indian name or?
it is. You the first one to
Okay.
get that right too.
Okay. I a little Indian in me, little
Okay.
bit, just a little bit. Okay. 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 So are you originally from there or?
Yes.
Okay.
Born and raised. It's a little small town.
Okay. Okay. I can relate to that. Well, I won't say I'm originally from a small town. I live in a small town now, so I can still relate to that a little bit. Okay. So, Miss Peggy, tell us a little bit about your story and your book, Dying on Section 8.
Dying on Section 8, I
Mm-hmm.
wrote in 2022, and it's basically, I got approved for Section 8 in 2015. It was a new experience. And
Mm-hmm.
having a Section 8 voucher, you hear a lot of people say some good and bad things. Well,
Right.
we had a lot of hardships
Mm-hmm.
and dealt with a lot of mold, unsafe housing, and some
Right.
more things. So it's just been one thing after another. And that
Mm-hmm.
what made me write it, because when I share my stories, my housing issues with certain people, they say, yeah, I deal with that too. Or I had family members who dealt with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because when you say that, because I'll admit I was on Section 8 at one point too. You know, my family we were on it too, at one point, and I guess it depends on where you live and how. Because I want to say we were on it maybe probably well at different times. I would say we were on it at different times in a couple different states, and
Okay.
so I guess maybe we weren't on it long enough to deal with any mold issues. I guess because don't I know they usually regulate that in most states with the inspections and all that. So how did it lead to they weren't doing the inspection before you like moved in and all that kind of
Um,
thing?
well, where I'm at now,
Right.
my neighbor told me it had flooded. And when I was doing Uber, like I said, I share my living
Mm-hmm.
situation with certain people.
Right.
And they showed
Right.
me some photos. This apartment had got flood damage, and they said they tore up the rug and redid some things, but I don't think they
Mm-hmm.
did a proper remediation. But
Oh.
when we lived in Harnett County, when I
Mhm.
got approved for that house, I didn't do a walkthrough first. I was so
Oh.
excited that because I
Right.
missed Section 8 like one or two times previously, because
Oh,
they
okay.
don't give you a few days to look for housing.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So when I got that place, it needed a lot of cleaning. It took me probably about a week to clean it. It
Right.
wasn't harsh, but I was like, okay, it had
Mm.
passed inspection. So they
Right.
said I did what I had to do to get me and my babies in there, because we did like a 2 hour 20 minute
Mm-hmm.
transition. We moved from a little town called Belhaven. I was living in Belhaven, North Carolina then.
Okay, okay. 'Cause that's what boggles my mind is how did Section 8 allow you to move into the place? And you said you had to do a couple hours worth of cleaning and getting in to just to move in there. And I
Yes.
know, like I said, with my experience, the place had to already pass inspection before you could even move in there, before they even approved it. At least in South Carolina, and my experiences. So yeah, so when you went through, after you going through everything, so did you have to go through like legal matters? And so, tell us a little bit more about your experience, what you had to.
Well, well, that's how I got here. Like that's how I've been
Right.
learning a lot about,
Mm-hmm.
rent abatement, putting things in writing. So when we was in Harnett County, the
Mm-hmm.
landlord kept telling me he was going to put a HVAC unit in the house, because it was a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, front
Right.
room, dining room, kitchen.
Mm,
and it was just a big older brick home. So and it had baseboard heat, and it wasn't
okay.
properly cooling and heating. We had one AC unit in the front window, and that was
Yeah.
supposed to cool off the whole house.
Okay.
But I just had so many issues in there from infestation of spiders, had mold growing in the shower, like
Mm,
around the tub, and they
right.
replaced that part in there, but they cover up the mold with some caulk as well.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I called Legal Aid. Legal Aid told me put it in writing. They sent me a sample letter and I
Mm-hmm.
sent it over. So then it got up and going. But in all honesty, God gave me the wisdom. The Holy Spirit led me to the library to read
Right.
about minimum housing codes. I would
Oh,
never have thought of it. And I went,
right.
yeah, so I reached out to them. They did an
Mm-hmm.
inspection. Um,
Okay.
and that's how that house got found fit. Ended up going to the
Okay.
city council meeting, and their
Mm-hmm.
plan was to have
Okay.
me out. But I'm
Right.
just grateful that I did a little bit of research because
Right.
they could have just boom put us out within 10 days. See,
Oh,
that's what
wow.
they do, and that's why I don't like. They could have put us out in 10 days, but I asked for an extension because
Okay.
the
You're right.
library did a little reading.
So they could have put you out, but they were the one with the wrongdoing.
Yes, and
Oh
it's
my.
not fair.
Right, and you had your kids with you and everything, and the place was unfit for you to live, but
Hmm.
yet they could have put you out.
Yep.
So, so as a a mom and of course a single mom, and how old were your children then?
Oh my
Were
gosh,
they
let me
younger?
see. I believe my son was probably about 10,
Right, so elementary
10,
age, and
11. I
mm,
had him in elementary school. Then my daughter, she was here to start. Then I had one at home with me.
right.
One was in Head Start. They
Oh,
was
okay, so
young. They was
young,
young.
right. So I know that had to be hard with young children going through that and you trying to work and trying to take care of your babies and just trying to figure out things and going through that. I know that had to be hard.
It was difficult because then and there, because I had a 94 Plymouth Grand Voyager van that kept giving me issues.
Right. I remember hearing
And
you talk about that. Yes.
And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't working then, so then I really didn't have no rent to pay. So I guess
Right.
that made them feel like, okay, well she all right, she ain't paying no rent. I was responsible for the
Right.
utilities. Because if
Right.
the utilities get turned off, they gonna put you out.
Right. Exactly. So you still
Yeah.
had to, right, right.
Yes.
Right. Thank you for coming on, Alita. Thank you so much. But yes, so go ahead. So you're right. So you still had other responsibilities, and how could you focus on your other responsibilities if the roof over your head was not in a safe environment? How do they expect you to focus? Yeah, that just doesn't go together. Doesn't make sense. Hey, Zenobia, thanks for coming in.
I love
We're
you
sitting
too.
here talking with author Peggy Thompson about her book "Dying on Section 8" and the things that she went through in unsafe living conditions for her and her children at the time in Chick. Say it again, Chicks, the city in North Carolina.
Chakawinity.
Chocowinity, yeah, there it is. Chocowinity, North Carolina, up near you said near it was near Greenville, North Carolina,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Right. Yes, ma'am. The living conditions that she was on while she was living on Section 8 at the time. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Miss Peggy.
Yeah, but so it was totally different because, like I said, I was
Mhm.
new to the program. So, and they knew I
Right.
was new. And when I
Right.
moved in, they didn't require a deposit. So I'm still learning the process still while I'm still up there. But my goal for me was to be up there for 5 years, to be
Right.
part of the family self sufficiency program,
Yes.
and so
Mhm.
much more, so I can have my own home right now. But it
Right.
can't work like that.
Right, exactly. You had a plan, like some people, of course, get on the program and try to use it, abuse it. But a
Hmm.
lot of people, use it as a stepping stool to get to better, to better themselves, and which is,
Right.
what your plans were. But I know that had to make it more difficult, of course, like you said, that made it difficult for you to get better. And so how long did this eventually continue to go on before you were able to get to a better place and everything?
That went on for 2 years and 6 months.
Oh my goodness, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That is a
two
long time.
years and 6 months.
Oh wow! And you trying to get your kids to going back and forth to school, and y'all just
Mhm.
living, and you going through that for 2.5 years.
Yep.
And I'm sure it felt like longer. I'm sure it did. I can only imagine. As a mother myself, I can only imagine it probably felt longer.
It got frustrating with the spiders because it was all different kinds. So there I go trying to. I said I was on spider duty.
Well, I was about to say spiders. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
I done killed
spider
a lot of
duty.
little bugs for my kids too, but spiders, ooh,
Yeah, spider duty. That's why I was
oh
on
my
spider
God.
duty. The kids sleep, and I'm up looking for spiders. Because one time, I was dating this guy, and his brother,
Right. Hmm.
advised us to get some high yield, and we stood outside the house one day. We just sprayed all around, and the spiders
Right.
was dropping from the front of the house like they was parachuting down.
Oh my God. It was
Yeah.
because of the water and because of the mold in the water, or
Um, the man said it wasn't insulated. There was no
oh,
insulation in the top part of the house. So I don't even know how long they had been there. And
oh
then when I
wow.
first moved there, somebody had broke
Mhm.
in. It was a squatter there.
Wow. So y'all going through enough, and then somebody else see you want to break in on your territory, and you already barely there yourself, basically, like you know the conditions, and then somebody want to come and break in on your territory.
Yeah, he
Like,
he was there before, before I even had opportunity to clean up. So I'm
oh
just
my,
grateful he didn't harm us. He was,
right. Yeah, that is true. That's true. I guess he said, I just want somewhere to lay my head or whatever. And you probably felt like you could have had his place, and if we'd have known, he could have had his place. I'm pretty sure. Oh my goodness. Like it's just and in the country they always talk about how America is one of the richest countries in the world. And this right here shows that it's not. And everybody wants to come over. And I'm not against any other, body coming over this country. I
right.
have no problem with that. But we are not the richest country in the world. Because this stuff like this right here shows it. Stuff right here shows it.
Scammers. I mean, a lot of people
Right.
making money off real estate, but I just wish that they'd be more mindful of the quality.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
everybody kids not going to tear at their house. Everybody's not just there to freeload. So a lot
Exactly.
of people that was on Section 8 before me has messed it up. They took advantage of
Right.
it. So they expect that out of every tenant. I'm like, no.
Exactly. So no, that is a problem. Man, excuse me for one quick
Okay.
second, you guys. I do apologize. I have to keep it real, y'all. I'm a grandmother also too, so yes,
That's
I'm not
okay.
even gonna, I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna bleep that out. I'm a grandmother as well, so grandbaby wants to come in here. I just keep it 100% with everybody. Grandbaby wants to knock on Granny's door, but yes, but but yes, like I can only, like I said, oh my God, I'm still thinking about on spiders. So, oh
And you know
goodness,
what? I'm scared. Are still traumatized from spiders right
I
now.
can imagine. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I
imagine.
freeze up. The
That's
flight
what I'm
freeze are
saying.
fine. I
Right.
freeze up, but I tell my kids, I say, we got to kill it before it kill us.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm still sitting here thinking about it myself. Like as soon as you said spiders, I was like, wait a minute, like who? Like that's one of them things like you see one crawling, like, like they say, even the daddy long legs, they say, oh, they not gonna do nothing, they harmless. I still don't like them,
I don't
you
like
know.
them either. My daddy tortured me with granddaddy long legs.
Oh, yeah, 'cause people
Yes,
like to pick them up and play with them. Like, oh, they harmless.
yes.
They're not gonna bite you. They still spiders. Oh, just keep them away from me. Like, no. So I can only imagine y'all in there living with them. And like you said, I wouldn't have been able to sleep either because I would have been
Yeah.
up all night trying to protect my babies. So,
I I put some, I think it was one or two in this Ziploc bag, and I
mhm,
thumbtacked it to the wall in the front room, and I took that as evidence to the city council meeting so they could see
right,
that it wasn't no baby spider. It was like two different
right.
kinds, brown recluses,
Oh,
some
yeah, those are the ones that are deadly. Yeah.
yes, and I'll tell you, some of them, I don't
Mm,
even know the identity of them. That's what got me because
right.
I'm like, and one
So,
night,
yeah. So what did they say when you were showing them all this stuff? Like initially, like
so okay, with that part, after you report it to the code enforcement. They come out, they do an inspection.
Mhm.
Since I'm on Section 8, they got to contact the Section 8 department. They come out, they
Right.
do the code enforcement inspection. They have the
Mhm.
little paper that they fill out, see what was defective, and then
Right.
the house then it was up for to be condemned. Couldn't even get
Okay.
out to be condemned. But
Okay.
here's what happened after we moved, after they got us up out of there.
Right.
They just left the property vacant for a while. So now somebody else
Mhm.
is living there. They remodel it from the outside. I don't know what they did in the inside, but that place is still there
Right.
right now.
And so somebody else just moved in there.
But it took them a while before they allowed anybody else go in there because a lot of homes
Okay.
got demolished there in Harnett County.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
once I spoke up, other people started speaking up, and it was
Oh,
the same
okay.
landlord.
Okay. So you basically started a movement.
I ain't signed up for this.
I know, I know, and it's never started up like that. You just standing up for yourself, and
Yeah,
that's how it happens. But it was something that needed to be done.
right.
You were a champion in your area of something that needed to be done. So right, so a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, was like, I'm so glad she said something. 'Cause we wanted to say something, but we were scared. So I'm so glad Peggy said something. I'm so glad she said something. Yeah, girl. So yeah, so be proud of yourself because it takes courage and strength to do what you did. Because a lot of women, a lot of people wouldn't have done that. They would have just moved or just like bump this section there. I'm just gonna go back home, or I'm just gonna figure it out, or whatever. And that's what most women would have done. Most people would have
Yeah.
done that. They would have
And you
just
know
went
what?
back home or whatever, figure something else out, or that's what they would most people would have done.
The
But
enemy
some people
tried to
they
stop me.
right, and I'm pretty sure they did. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
the enemy tried to stop me down. The housing
Mhm.
inspectors didn't reach back out to me. They didn't do a second inspection, but they said that they did. And they also didn't communicate with me. So I
Mhm.
went out of town to go get funds and get help with moving since they worked with me.
Okay.
And
Right.
when I came from out of town, it was a red
Mhm.
note on the door. So basically, this is another thing that hits people in the face.
Right.
Not out within the time frame that they give you. It was a
Mhm.
note, no trespassing, or I could get charged with a class one misdemeanor. I'm like, that's not
Are
even
you
fair.
serious? Right.
Yeah. So that wasn't fair. So I was angry about that.
Right. I know you were. Like y'all got me living in these conditions. I'm reporting it to y'all who y'all are supposed to be protecting me and my children. But then y'all threatening to put me out and saying I'm trespassing, all this and that and other.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow. And it, and they wonder why people don't trust the people in charge.
right. Like
Right.
right here where we at right now. Came home today.
Mhm.
Rent going up again.
Oh, yeah,
Rent
everywhere.
always going up, but the
Mhm.
quality of living is not going up. The repairs is
No,
not going up. You
right.
know,
They
I had a
they
lot of
patch
issues.
up stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
patch
patch
out.
up stuff, make it look a little pretty, and then
Mhm.
slap another $1,000 on it.
But
And yeah,
yeah, but you know what? The mold is my biggest issue because where we at now,
right,
whatever I have in my kitchen, it does not survive there. It doesn't thrive there long. Like fruits and veggies and potatoes. You
right,
know how we go to the store and we can go get them
right.
and they get sent out. We can't leave stuff sent out.
So you're still experiencing that in the area. So then, do you
Yes.
think it's the whole area or the the
They
property, the buildings?
it's the way these apartments were built. Um
Oh, okay. So they didn't build them properly. Okay, okay,
Ventilation is an issue too.
right. Okay.
My neighbor said I'm the first one to stay here the longest because she done seen so many
Oh,
people come and go. So this place
okay,
had to have a
right.
whole bunch of stuff that was going on. And it's
Mm-hmm.
in my girl's room. It done had two leaks in the window. So we have
Mm-hmm.
mold allergies. So
Right, right,
Benadryl, nasal spray, all that other stuff that we
right.
had. It costs money. It adds up.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. All that costs money and the sickness and all that stuff. You having to deal with all that stuff. Yeah.
Think about long-term health effects of things
Exactly.
that's not even being caught right now. Like I done
Right. It's
seen
gonna
kids
catch up
do,
later.
yeah.
Exactly.
We
Right.
breathing it in and probably ate
Exactly.
some stuff since the refrigerator, you know.
Right. That you didn't know it was going bad or whatever. You probably went ahead and ate it and
Yeah,
not knowing, you don't know what kind of effects it's gonna have on you later.
right.
Wow. So when were those apartments built?
These right here, I would have to recheck, but they're fairly new. They're not too old.
That's what
We
I was.
moved, yeah, we
Mhm.
moved here in August 2019.
And they were still built poorly.
Yeah, but remember, a flood came, a hurricane came through here, people.
Oh, y'all had
So the
okay.
bottom ones got water damage. You know,
Oh,
if you just use a
yeah,
handyman,
yeah.
big stuff to
Yeah,
save
they cutting
money,
costs, right?
yes, and you don't
Yeah,
do stuff the right way,
right. And then
they're not
Section 8
going.
ain't, yeah, and Section 8 just taking, accepting whoever
Mhm.
that got property and say, oh, yeah, here, y'all want to put my property on Section 8.
Mhm.
And yeah, instead of really doing a thorough job and saying,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's thoroughly inspect this property before we accept them on Section 8.
Right.
I know, yes, true enough, it's a long waiting list for Section 8 recipients, but you still should thoroughly inspect the property before you allow people. These people need to be on Section 8 because of the income limits or whatever. Thoroughly inspect the property because obviously they need it for a reason. They don't need to be getting on there and being in danger of their health and wealth and everything. Or
Mhm.
everything's backwards.
Yeah.
It's all backwards. It's backwards. So going on, like I said, into your story and everything, and since you've written the book, have any changes been made, or has anything like gotten better, or like since you've written the book, or has any changes been made in the area? Like I said, I know I said that you started a movement. I guess I can see your facial expression. So nothing's been done. Like
Not yet.
Lifetime movies, nothing's been done. Like they really have not done anything. No real improvements.
No, because before the book even made it out in July, I met this lady. She do the community watch program,
Mm-hmm.
and I shared some issues I was going and made an article in City View. And my
Right.
landlord, they know my name, they know I'm here. I sent proof of where I was sending work orders, all this other stuff. But the owner said
Right.
that she ain't have no knowledge of the issues that's been going on at the apartment complex. And
Mm.
then the elderly people was having issues. You know, it's the same company.
Right.
This company is in North Carolina, it's in
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, and
Right.
they here to change their name. But my thing is, it's
Right.
just sad how they get all this money. It's state
Exactly.
and federal money, and then
Right.
like
Exactly.
I
They're
pay
abusing
rent.
the system. Yeah, they're abusing the
Mhm.
system.
Yeah, but if it
Yeah.
was me abusing the system,
Oh, you be behind bars already, be locked up. Hey, this shit, thanks for coming on. Yeah, you be behind bars
Mhm.
already. Like yeah, she's stealing money. Embezzlement, all that stuff or whatever. Yeah, they'll be ready to lock you up.
Mhm.
But they did and let these people just use and abuse you. The system. It don't make no sense at all. Like I said, we got to get your story out there because it needs to be heard. Something needs to be done about it all across the country. Like it's not just you. Section 8 is all across. I know I'm pretty sure it's in all 50 states. I know I'm in Georgia. Well, I'm in South Carolina now, but I lived in Georgia and South Carolina and been on it in both states.
Right,
It's all across the US and something needs to be done. Because like I said, I'm sure it's not just where you are. I'm pretty sure this is going on in other states too as well, cities and states, with the
right.
Section 8 housing and things of that nature and the public housing as well.
Mhm.
And they can't say, oh well, we a lot of people, oh we don't want to rent to these people, that people, but it is not even that. They still need to meet safe living conditions. That's
Yeah,
the key. And what
yeah.
about they're talking about the fair housing rights and all the things like that. What happened to that?
It's just words, like it's words.
Right, right, exactly. Right. It's not, they're not putting it into practice at all. They're not putting it into practice, and those are the changes that need to be made. Those are the things we need to be going to our senators and our state representatives and all that. Those are the things that they need to be putting on the books and on the ballots and stuff. Those are the things that are matter. The housing crisis, those are the things that need to be going on. People need to be talking about, even with the pandemic and everything. There's so many homeless people right now because of the pandemic. Yeah, so many people right now still living in hotels, regardless of the reasons. So many people right now with income restrictions. Section 8 really need to be opening up to more people, to be honest with you. But if they're gonna treat it that way, nobody wants to go on it anyway. even for a helping hand, not
Yeah,
to abuse it, but even for a helping hand to get to better days. Nobody wants to even take that chance, because if you're gonna get on there and then risk getting sick and getting worse off than you already are, what kind of help is that really? You
it's not
know, right?
because
It's
I
not.
thought about it. If I didn't have my daughters here with me right now, because my son he elsewhere. If I didn't have my daughters with me,
Right,
I would be family to family, house to house, or going
right.
back to sleeping in my car. But I just want them,
Yeah,
a
you want them to
hotel
have
to
at least a
hotel.
bed,
We
right?
we've been there, and I understand like where we live at right now in Cumberland County. It's a lot of homeless people here, and I see why they home.
Right,
They rather
right.
be out on the streets. I mean, they out there with their signs. They get more
Yeah,
money. They ain't got to worry about
right,
getting evicted. So we was
right,
there too. So
right. Exactly. They'd rather go ahead and do it that way than to deal with the other stuff. And I get it. I get it.
yeah,
I get it. So, but it's sad that you even have to go through all that. And it's like, what is this country coming to? Back again, like I said in the beginning, we're supposed to be the richest country in the world, one of the richest countries in the world. Everybody wants to come to the United States. I don't see what for. I'm still trying to figure out what for.
it's probably the cost of living is cheaper, maybe in certain areas, but the
Right.
cost of living, you got to think about, okay, the cost of living is cheaper, but the
Hmm.
housing conditions, you really got to think about that.
Right. Yes, it's a lot, and it varies in different areas, of course, too, all across the board.
Right.
But they, like I said, certain areas, things like this, they still need to focus on, regardless of what area where you live or anything like that. They still need to focus on it being safe for everyone. That's the
Yeah.
main thing. Safe and health. Those should be the priorities. It should be safe for you. You should be able to live in a safe, healthy, clean environment,
Yep.
regardless of where you are. Those are
Mhm.
the main important things to me. You're safe, you're healthy, you don't have to worry about nothing, regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of your income status or whatever,
Right.
you shouldn't have to worry about nothing. And that's the main things. And so, like I said, we gotta keep, you gotta get down on Section 8 out there to people, and let them that cover. I don't know who designed your cover. Was it Dr.
Yes,
Latoya?
it was.
Yeah,
You
I
know, it
thought so. Yeah,
was
I thought
her.
so. And I was like, that cover says it all right there. Dying on Section 8. Y'all got to go grab a copy of her book. You can get it from Rainique Publishing Bookstore and more. Let me post that link in here. And you can get a copy of her book there. And yeah, go copy right there on that link. Y'all see the link right there in the chat. Go get a copy of her book there, and she will get it out to you. And I believe that would be an autographed copy there too, right? Get your autographed copy there, and yes, and learn all about the rest of her story there, and like I said, help get the word out. And then if anyone else is going through anything like this, I'm pretty sure you can reach out to Miss Peggy. She can offer you some advice and help you to advocate for yourself. Because this really is a movement, whether she believes it or not. This is a movement. Truly is a movement, because people should not be going through nothing like that. She shouldn't have had to go through that, her and her children, and no one else should be going through those kind of living conditions at all. Whether you're on Section 8 or not, you should not be going through those kind of living conditions, especially with them spiders. Ooh, Jesus. I'm probably gonna go to bed tonight, waking up like, oh, did I see the spider? But like, no one should be having to go through those kind of conditions, living like that. So no. But I commend you again, like I said, on writing your story and sharing your story. And yeah, it was truly, I know it took courage for you to even start writing your book. How long did it take you to write your book, when you just sat down and like, okay, I need to write this story?
Writer block. being the first time out there, I kept quitting. I was part of a book club. They had weekly
Mhm.
meetings, and then like how life is, and dealing with
Mhm.
personal issues and so
Right.
much more. I had quit one time, and then I had
Mhm.
someone who said they was going to publish my work. Then they wanted money that I didn't have, and then that's when I came
Yes.
across Dr. Latoya, and I was like, okay, because
Mhm.
I got frustrated. I had to talk to God. I said,
Right.
okay, God, is this something that you want me to do? And He made a way because I didn't have the funds. I was
Right.
tired. I was frustrated. It was some stuff that I wanted to leave out that I had to go back and add in there.
Mhm. Okay. Right. I could definitely understand that. So you took your time and you wrote it out and you got it done and it needed to be gotten done. It
Yeah.
needed to be gotten done. So yes, ma'am. So do you have any other endeavors, any other books in you or any other events that you have coming up or anything like that?
Nothing coming up, but my future books will be a story about the mental health and the situation that I had with my son, um,
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay.
domestic violence, some things that I went through,
Mhm.
growing up and dating. So that
Right.
that was another one.
Okay.
And I got to be a
Okay.
little bit more proactive in that. It's just,
Yes.
oh, there's another one. I ain't gonna say
Mm.
what that was gonna be about.
Right. Keep that one
that's
a
that's
little secret till it come out.
that's a whole nother issue dealing with mold that a lot of people will be shocked about. So
Okay. Okay. Well, yes,
this
definitely. Share your story because share. Like I said, I'm gonna say sharing is caring, but sharing is healing. Sharing your story. Your testimony, just getting it out there. It really, truly, is a healing. Just putting it out there, whether you writing it in a book, a poem, drawing or whatever. It's healing. It's therapeutic for you. So it's good to get it out there, And like I said, I will say, even if you don't publish it, but that's still, still healing. But publishing it, that's helping someone else as well as helping you because somebody reads your story and it helps them as well. So I always say, I share my story, in hopes that it'll help someone else, on their journey.
right,
Right. And that's why we do this show here too as well. 'Cause, I figured, I share my story, so why not bring others on and help them share their story and hope that we can all just, build a community together, sharing our stories and hoping that we can help everyone to heal on their journey as they go through life. And, each one share their story, like say each one teach one, each one share
yes,
their story, and we can all, heal each other together, and make the world a better place.
yeah.
And that's my goal. Yes, ma'am, it is. I have thoroughly enjoyed hearing your story, Miss Peggy. I really have. I really have.
Appreciate you having me because you
You
know
are
what?
welcome.
I
Mm-hmm.
tell people dying on Section 8, it ain't just about if you on Section 8. It's about
Right.
elderly, low income, military housing because
Yeah.
people who
Right, and my
participate.
parents were in the
Yeah.
military, yeah,
Mhm.
and I lived with because I was little. We and the houses on the base look similar to, and I because I lived in public housing as an adult. The houses that are on the base look similar to public housing. I don't know a lot of people that
Mhm.
aren't military don't know that they look just like public housing, like the
Mhm. They
project.
do.
They really do. So I get that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Look, those people pay flat rent because
Hmm.
you get tired. You keep on giving these people your money. One thing that the people need to know: don't keep verbalizing it. That's like me telling you something. It's going in one ear out the other one. Your word
Right,
against mine. Put it on paper. It's a certain way that you
right.
document it. The other day, someone told me it was a family member.
Hmm.
They had an issue, and this family member shouldn't be paying the amount of rent that they're paying, and
Right,
they moved where they are at now. They moved in that facility when it was brand new. And these people, I done seen mold get covered up there so much more, but
right,
they was neglecting a water leak. And water is
right,
very, that's the main thing. That what caused mold to spread
right. Yeah.
and the humidity and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's serious. When you
Hmm.
sleep, you breathing it in.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And that can mess up your lungs and everything else. Right. And people
Mhm.
don't think about that, but it does. It can mess with you and everything. And so it's
Yeah.
like you got to take care of yourself and think about where you're living and stop being hush hush and quiet about it. Stand
Yes.
up and speak up for yourself. Because if you don't, they're not going to. You
Yeah.
know.
I
Mm-mm.
still got a lot more to learn. Like, I'm just
Right.
grateful that God gave me the knowledge and wisdom, led me to the library that day because I would
Right.
never went there and picked up that reference manual. I wouldn't read nothing about it. You got to remember, every city, every county is
Mm-hmm.
different when it comes to the minimum housing code.
Okay. Okay.
I went here already in regards to this place, but nobody has reached out. So I just feel like people working together, and it's like, okay, God, what I just wait and see what's going to happen, and still look up
Right.
other options because
Mm-hmm.
there's no power higher than God. So
That's
they in a position of power and cover us,
right.
but it's
Yeah.
all right. It did affect us like socially, emotionally, mentally, physically.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah. Right. But like you said, God has the final say.
Yeah.
Yep. He has the final say. So yeah, they can think they can getting away with it and everything, but they're not getting away with nothing.
Yeah, and another
Mhm.
reason a lot of people like me, it doesn't matter about the race, but the income part, the financial status
Right.
part. If you don't
Right.
have money to get the lawyer, it's like, okay, they know they
Hmm.
can't go nowhere.
Right.
People want
Exactly.
you to have a 650 credit score. They want you to have certain
Yes.
times to rent. People don't have that
Mhm.
right now.
No, nobody has that right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I've been there. Like, how you want me to have 3.5 times the rent? Like, really? Like, who has that? Like, literally, like, who? When I moved a couple years ago, and I was trying to find a new place, and everybody on there wanted you to have 3.5, but and the rent was like I think the rent was like 1,240. Like, who wants you to have two and a half, 3 times the rent? Like, huh? What?
Yeah. It's
Like, are you
crazy.
serious? And that's what it was. And I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
It
Like, I think
is.
the one I found at the time, theirs was 2.5. Everybody else's was like 3, and this particular one was 2.5. So I was able to move. But I couldn't believe it because before I moved to that place, out of town to that place, it was, my rent was here was 650. I'll be honest. I was here in Aiken, it
Right.
was 650. When I moved to Greenville, South Carolina, I'll just be go
Yeah.
ahead and put it out. When I moved to Greenville, South Carolina, I moved up there, and they was like everybody was like 3 times the rent, and the rent up there was like I said, $1,200, $1,400, and they wanted you to make 2.5 and 3 times the rent. And I
It's
was like, are
crazy.
y'all serious? Like, where did I just move to? Like, and I only live like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from there. And I'm like, seriously, I might well move back home to Aiken
They
because it was
do it.
crazy. They
Hmm.
literally blew my mind because I was not expecting that. But when I moved back home, the rent here had changed too, though. So that's when the rent in our area started going up.
Right.
So it was all across, the nation. That's when the rent had started going up.
It's
And
about to go up again too.
I
It
know,
is.
I already see it. I'm
Yeah.
already seeing it.
I got that letter today because they put letters in the door and stuff like that. But I just,
Yeah.
it's sad that people live in these situations. Some
Mhm.
people have to stay where they at because that's all they can afford. But I just think about the
Mhm.
kids seeing a certain situation like this. They
Right,
be thinking,
exactly.
oh, violence happened at home. Nah, my kids be
Right,
frustrated because all of us sleep in the front room. I pay
right.
rent to
I
sleep in the
know.
front room. It's
Right,
frustrating.
because of the issues that are going on in the rest
Mhm,
of the house, right?
mhm.
And that's not fair. And you paying your money, yeah, you
Well,
shouldn't be,
yeah.
yeah, just like you said, take your pictures, document it, continue to document everything. Like y'all don't even have to tell you what to do. You done did it all before, so I know you already doing
Yeah,
it.
I got my paper
Yeah.
trails. I got
Right,
my
I know you already got it. You already know what to do. So
But they,
yeah,
they try to blame the tenants. They try to point blame and shift blame to the tenants, and that's not fair. So that's another
right,
reason people need to really read about their tenant rights. Get them a
right.
go to nolo.com. Get them a book.
Right,
The
exactly.
stuff
Yeah,
constantly change.
right,
Yes.
exactly. You're right. Stay up on the laws. You like you said, do the research. Do the research. It's out there online and in the library. Do the research. Advocate for yourself. Fight for yourself. Because if you don't, they're not going to.
I ain't
So
want to
yeah.
pay them no rent this month, and it's about to go up next month after I took my
Right.
student off. I'm like, and then my rent is, I mean, my light bill is almost $400 a month
Oh
now
yeah,
'cause I
that's
had a
going up
water
too.
leak. No, I had a
Right.
water leak. I had a water leak, and they took almost a month to fix it, and then my refrigerator was just out for a week and 3 days, and
Now,
it feel
did
like
you let the water people know that that there was a leak?
They were supposed to give me half off, and now they talking about
Right.
they went back to last year and said it was about the same. It's not about the same. So you know what? I don't need
Are
to go
you
back to them. I'm
serious?
so
Because we
serious.
had one of my dad, yeah, and they supposed to give you a credit.
And I got from my landlord proof that it was repaired. So that's why I said people working together. So you know
Wow.
what else I'm supposed to do? If I don't pay the light bill, I get kicked out.
Right.
But I was on. It's a process because I sure wasn't going to pay
Right.
that rent. But you know what? My babies. I think about my
Yeah, I
babies.
know. I
Yeah,
know. Do y'all have like a local news station that does like stories and exposés and
I
things like that there
I
too?
reached out to two different ones. I reached out to Raleigh. Like I
Mhm.
said, we got an article that made City View magazine, and the woman
Right.
she was like she didn't want to put my name in there because she was afraid of me being retaliated against. But
Oh,
they already
right.
tried to
Okay.
retaliate against me last year and gave me a 30-day notice. But
Oh my
so I
goodness.
just try to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. Make sure I pay my
Right.
rent
Yeah.
and
Okay. So to give them no reason at all to do anything.
I'm trying
Right.
to hold it. I'm going to try to hold it out because I know how I
I
am.
know. I know. I know. Like, let me
They
hold my
keep getting my
tongue.
money,
Let me
you
hold my
know.
tongue. Make sure.
Uh, they keep on getting
Um.
this money, you know, it's
Right.
going saving up. They still building. We still here.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Or
Yeah.
maybe even start, maybe even try to get maybe get some of the ladies that yeah we associate with in the groups to maybe help us get like a no nonprofit or something started for things like that so that when come places retaliate against you or like if some other women, you know, you form an organization and like some other women and to protect that whoever goes through something like this have some funds allocated for who you know if people start getting retaliated against that there'll be funds in place that say hey you know here if they do say put you out or something you have a fund to fall back on to say here's a place we'll get you put you and your family up you know for this little bit or here you know things like that to protect you because yeah because this is a fight that you know it's a fight that's needed to be fought you know but you got to have some protection in place you know yeah
Right.
so
Right. And
that's something to think about too.
I was talking to this man yesterday. I was promoting the book, and
Right.
he said, "What?" He said, "North Carolina law. They must be." He was like, "I've been to Florida. Florida don't play." He said he used to rent out Section 8 homes. He said when
Right.
you go downtown to the code enforcer, they come out. I said, "I done been here. And I ain't got
Right.
time. You know, I ain't gonna keep wasting my time going back and
Right.
forth."
That's what I said with South Carolina. They, at least from my experience, they don't play. They go expect
Mhm.
before, after, all that stuff.
And
You
where I'm
know.
from, I ain't never had to deal with mold like this. Even when I was in public housing, you have
Right.
your people who don't come fix repairs. Sometimes they
Hmm.
string it out.
Right. Those are
Till you
usually like the slumlords, but usually typically Section 8 and stuff and public house, they don't play. Like they gonna come and do the stuff and they, you know, and
I
yeah.
told the Section 8 inspector, I asked her because she left, I think it was last year before last, because I
Mhm.
contacted Raleigh. I said, "Well, you
Right.
didn't tell me if I passed or failed inspection." That woman, I had to send her an email, and it's like, it's
Mhm.
sad. You can submit your
Right.
maintenance issues to Section 8, and
Right.
I still got to pay rent. Nobody come out here and inspect
Right.
or check up on my complaints. It's like they don't even care. But
Right.
if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was their
Right.
kids, their families, their mom,
Exactly.
their aunt,
Right.
they'd be ready
Yeah.
like lawsuits and everything.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why you keep all your paper trails, all that stuff, because that's sad that they're not doing anything. That's not fair at all.
It's frustrating. You know how much
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
cleaning you got to constantly
Right.
clean. And I got to put a mask on because, like, even awesome,
Yeah.
I can't use awesome like that. I got to get my kids to clean sometimes, and
Oh
they get
yeah.
frustrated because
Right. It's
it
strong.
affects my breathing. And this is my
Oh.
first time being on a EpiPen and had to carry my inhaler a lot.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
do get the wheezing. I know it come from this place.
Yeah.
But it's like landlords want you to follow all their rules, but they don't want to follow the
Yeah. I
rules that
want
they
to.
put in place. And it's not fair.
Right. Yeah, it's not fair at all.
Yeah.
It's not fair at all. Well, we're gonna pray that well, we know God is looking out for you, but We're gonna pray that you're gonna eventually get into a safe housing. That your own with your name on the deed, not
Yeah.
the lease, on the deed. There's gonna be the papers in your name. It's gonna be yours, and it's gonna be a safe environment. Safe, healthy environment for you and your family. And that you won't have to worry about these kind of conditions anymore. I know God's gonna do that for you, and He's gonna bless you while you're working on this movement for right now that He's putting, got you doing, But He puts us in places that we might not have thought that we were going and doing, but sometimes that's where He has us going, and it's something that's needed, so He'll give us strength to do it. So you
Right.
just keep doing what you're doing, keep promoting your book, and keep sharing your stories and writing your stories because they're needed to be heard. So you keep believing in yourself and keep doing what you're doing. And I'm so proud of you and proud of you for the courage, because like I said, it takes a lot of courage to do what you just did. Because a lot
Thank
of people wouldn't have, like you said, a lot of people wouldn't have stood up to the people against the Section 8 and against all those people and did what you're doing. A lot of people don't have that courage, like I said, to do all that. Right. I know it's him, but even with him, a lot of
you.
people still would have been like, God, I ain't doing all that. What you talking about, Lord? No.
Yes.
you know, just being real. A lot of people, God, no, that ain't fun. That ain't, I ain't doing that. But you
Yeah.
didn't. You still kept doing it, and you stuck it out, for you and your kids, and you still fighting. So I'm proud of you. That takes strength. That takes
Thank you.
courage. So you're
Thank you.
welcome.
You can't deny it when it's in writing, huh?
Right, exactly right. Can't say like yeah, you got a whole book. Like the kids say, a whole man, you got a whole book to tell the story.
Yeah.
Can't take that back. Man, you can't take that back. But yes, like I said, so you guys, you make sure you go to the website link that we have going across the screen, rayniquepublishing.com, and go grab you a copy of Dying on Section 8, Overcoming Landlord's Negligence While Learning About Tenants' Rights, and hear the rest of Miss Peggy Thompson's story, and so that you can learn all about it, and whatever advice that you may need, all everything's in her story. And I'm pretty sure you can reach out to Miss Peggy on Facebook, and her you message her on her wall, and she'll reach out to you, or either on this post that I made for the for her show tonight. But yes, because whether she knew it or not, she's an advocate now.
Hey, hey, and
Yeah,
keep
she's an
on.
advocate now, right? But yes, and we would like to thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And if you catch us in the replay, make sure you just let us know where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, feel free to just put it in the chat. She'll be able to see the messages as well, and she can respond to them throughout as she sees them as well. And again, we thank you so much, Miss Peggy, for coming on with me tonight, and I appreciate your patience for all the times that we had to reschedule
All
you.
right.
I
You
was like, am
know
I ever gonna get Miss Peggy out here? Because I was like, today I was like, Lord, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that. Like, please let me make it back home in time.
and look, I told somebody I see them. I was supposed to be getting somebody a copy of the book today. They supposed to be purchasing it, but you know what?
Mhm.
Everything happened for a reason. There's a time for everything. So you know what?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep, it is what it is,
Yeah.
exactly. So yes, ma'am. So you all again go to rateneatpublishing.com and grab you a copy of the book, and get you a copy and get you a couple copies, get some copies for your family and your friends, some Christmas gifts and support, and help us get the word out, because this is a story that needs to get out. It needs to get out, and it needs to get out all across the globe, all 50 states, and Alaska too. But because it does, because Section 8 is all over, so it really does
Yeah.
need to get out. On a serious note, because this is happening all around the world. I don't know if I think Section 8 is in other countries or not. I'm not sure of that, but I know it's in all 50 states. So this story does need to get out. So again, like I said, reach out to radiantpublishing.com. The website is going across the bottom, and again, shout out to Dr. Latoya Jeter, who designed her cover.
Yeah.
And you can, as her bookstore, radiantpublishing.com, you can go there and you can get a copy of Peggy's book, Dying on Section 8. And again, thank you all so much for watching us tonight. And again, thanks so much for watching, and we have thoroughly enjoyed you all. And tune in next time, and we love you all. Thank you so much.